Hi everyone and welcome to another Vlogmas day, and today I wanted to talk about the things that I have purchased for the trip. Some of the things I will have use of after, but the idea of the purchase actually came for the trip. We're gonna start with products from Moji. Moji is one of my favorite stores. I don't buy that much from it, but I love just browsing. They have so much fun things. I'm gonna start with some little pouches. First one is this. This is a packing cube. We started buying these a couple of years ago and we're just in love with them. We only use the small and the medium. The large is a bit too large for us because when we pack we roll our clothes together, so the medium kind of we can stack all our t-shirts, all our jeans, everything rolled up in the medium ones. But if you like to pack your clothes flat, I do recommend a large one. We picked up two of the small ones. These little kind of pouches are actually part of the bag itself, so you can always, I think they are, yeah, they are. So you can always pack them back up in these little pouches, so they're easy to store. Also, we bought two. The second pouches we bought, they will sound a little bit, and yes, we haven't taken off all of the little things yet, but it's these mesh bags. So we bought one a little bit larger and then two of the smaller ones. They come with two zippers, so you have one bag that is just like ordinary fabric or pocket of it with a zipper, and then we have a mesh pocket on the outside, also that with a zipper. These are really good. We use them for cables mostly. Christopher actually have one of these smaller ones in his bag all the time, where he have like little adapters and cables and stuff that he needs for work that would otherwise get lost in his backpack. And that is kind of what we want to use them for, just to portion everything up into different little mini baggies. That was the second item from Moji. The third item is plastic bottles. When we travel, I like to not travel with my full-size products, so I usually fill them in little bottles, and I needed to stack up on some more. So I have three different kinds. I have this little one that has a point tip, so you can kind of press it down, so that one of them. Then we have these little ones. I bought two of these. They're perfect for like eye makeup removers or face wash, stuff like that. That is what I'm going to use them for. You can also use them for shampoo, conditioner, all of those things. Then we have this, which is an even bigger size, and that is going to be used up for washing up liquid. We are going to use Yes, but you can use like Dove or whatever they are called. They're for washing our cutlery. We have multiple use plastic bowls and cutlery that we use because we do eat in the hotel room sometimes, and then we can just wash them up after we're done. So we take a washing up liquid with us. So that was everything from Moji. The second thing on the list is from Echo, and that is a pair of new shoes. I was watching these Disney videos actually from the Disney food blog. They do a lot of food-oriented videos, but they also do a lot of tips and tricks for Disney trips. And as we are going on one of those trips a month or so ago, was that if you are going to Disney, remember that you are going to walk a lot and you're gonna need a good pair of shoes. But you also want to make sure that you have walked them in, so you don't have a lot of blisters and all of those things. And I know that my black leather high tops, which is also Echo's, which I just completely love and I have repurchased multiple times, they get pretty hot in the Florida weather. I found these at the Echo store, and they have like a mesh sides and here it's mesh. It is covered mesh, but it is rather thin fabric to that mesh. So I really felt that I really wanted them, and I really like them. I usually don't go for light shoes. I usually don't go for anything that is light. I kind of like dark clothes and strong colors. But I don't know, I fell for these. They were around $170, so these are pretty expensive shoe, but they're really, really good. I buy all my shoes on Echo. However, I only buy 1 to 2 pairs every like 1 to 2 years. I use the same pair of shoes every day until they break, and then I buy a new pair, and then I use it every day until they break, and it takes about 1.5 to 2 years per shoes. Lately I have started to have multiple shoes, so I have my high tops. I've had a pair of boots, however they were so uncomfortable. I'm gonna need to buy a new pair of winter boots when I get back. But I also want to have a pair of like lighter, cooler shoes. I do have sandals from Echo, and I've had them for a couple of years. However, I'm not super fan of sandals. I don't like being barefoot. It's just me. So these shoes are really awesome, and I've been using them indoors. I've been using these as my indoor shoes for about a month, and I really like it because we have really hardwood floors. So these shoes are just awesome, and I'm probably gonna wash them off when we get back so I can continue using them, or finally get a pair of real slippers, real good slippers that I can use as my work shoes indoors. There. That was my second thing. My third thing is more like for the vlogging part, which the fourth kind of is too. It is a pair of mics because I couldn't decide, and they were pretty affordable. So I've been wanting a shotgun mic and a Lavelle mic for years. I just never have put the money in or the time in because I've thought they were super expensive. I've been looking at Röde mics, and they go for $150 to $200, and that was not what I wanted to pay for this. But I did have a couple of things that I really wanted from a mic. I wanted to be able to use it both on a camera, both on my camera that I have in the background, which is a Canon 70D, which I use for my overhead footage, but also for my next camera that I'm going to buy. I am planning to upgrade this probably to the G7X Mark III somewhere in January, or if I find it for really cheap in the States, I would pick it up. But as I've been looking at it at like Amazon and stuff, it's actually more expensive in the States than it is at home, so I'd rather take it at home then. But yeah, I need to be able to connect to the cameras, but I also needed to connect to the computer, and that is why I picked them up now, is to be able to do voiceovers when we're traveling. So I wanted something small, and we're gonna start with the Lavelle mic. This is very, very small. These are the brand Boya, and I watched a lot of YouTubes, and it's supposed to be almost just as good as the Röde mics, and it's just a fraction of the price. For example, this Lavelle mic, which is super teeny tiny, like my nose, it does have a little clip. Everything is in the little leather bag, and it has a little sock that you can put on it. It's like $15, and it's supposed to be really, really good. It does need a battery, and it does have this little on and off switch, and when it's in the on position, you use it for your camera, and that is when you need the battery, while on the off switch it is for your PC, and I don't think you need the battery then. I think it's driven by the electricity in the computer when you do that, because you can actually charge things through that port. I have a pair of headphones, that's the word, a pair of old ones from Philips that are charged through the headphone jacket. I don't know how that works, but apparently it works. The second mic is a shotgun mic. It's a little shotgun mic. It doesn't take too much space. The other one's usually very, very big, so I really like this one. It does have a little bit of a shorter cable for the connection for the computer, The straight cable that you get with it is for the computer, but you also get one that is curly, and that is for your camera. So they have different cables. You don't need any batteries for this, which I really love. And you get this little sock. I think they call it a dead cat, which I feel a little bit sad about. I really hide this mic because I can't believe that Gizmo is gonna hunt this if I don't hide it. So I put it in a drawer. And you again get that little leather or faux leather bag. I think this is faux leather actually. So it's a faux leather bag with boya on it. So they are easy to travel with. For the fourth and last thing, it's a kind of a big purchase and it has a long story. So it's gonna be a long story. Sorry about that. It is my brand new Air. This is a M1 Air, so it's quick and it's nice, and I have a skin on it. Bought the skin also from D brand, and it has this like leather texture, so it looks like black leather. Christopher also picked up a new Air and a skin for his, and he went with another texture, and he's a little bit jealous of my leather one. But we chose different textures because then we can see the difference on our computers, because otherwise they're the same. They even have the same specs, which they usually don't. The story around this, so as I said, it's gonna be a long one. In November, I bought my iMac. I've been wanting an iMac for many years. I needed to be able to drive the Photoshop and Illustrator in the long run for everything I do there creatively. It's also very nice to have something sturdy when you do video editing. And later that spring I picked up my drawing pad, which is a Cintiq 16-inch, not the Pro version, and that also kind of needs the stronger machine to be able to do everything with. And about the same time I also got a MacBook Pro from my previous job. I gave away my old one to Christopher's father. About a month in there, the battery died. Yes, died. It had about 10 minutes of like screen time without having power in it, and otherwise it just died. And that is not what you want to have when you have a laptop. You're supposed to be able to carry it around and use it. With the things that I use it for, I usually had before the battery died 4 to 5 hours of battery time anyhow. I was a little bit sad about that. And then I just put it in a drawer and I used my iMac. Now, a couple of months ago, me and Christopher started talking about the computers we needed to have with us when we're gonna travel. His computer, which he uses in the living room also, so for him, having one of these at home is really good, because then he can both sit in the office but also in the living room. And I've been using this basically every day since I got it, so yeah, I kind of like having a living room computer also. His is really old. It's like 6-7 years old, and he come to a point where he actually can't even run the coding softwares that are very lightweight on his one. So he knew that he was going to change it, and he'd been thinking a lot about how he wanted to do it, and he decided that he wanted to have a stationary just like me. But he didn't go for the iMac, he went for a Mac Mini instead. Yes, we have just Mac computers because it works with the softwares we use. So he knew that he wanted to pick up a new Mac Mini, but he also wanted something he could use to carry around, and he had looked at the Airs. And I had a couple of friends that actually bought Airs, and they said that these Airs are like, they're monsters. To be this teeny packet and being the price with the new M1 processor, they are monsters. They are just wonderful. So he was already looking at it, and the plan behind it is a little bit that with an Air it might fall behind a little bit faster than if we would go for a MacBook Pro, but at the same time you get 3 to 4 Airs for the same price of one MacBook Pro. So if we would want to update more often, we could do that. Also, nowadays, Apple actually pays for your old computers and mobile phones. There's a new thing in Sweden. I know that I've been doing that in the US for a long time, but in Sweden it's like a year or 2 years that they've been doing it. They didn't before. So we can always turn them in to them to be either recycled or be refurbished and used for someone else, sold to someone else, and then we can get a little bit of cash back and we can buy a newer one. So we looked at it and we figured that an Air is probably what we need. I did turn in my old MacBook Pro, and even though the battery was kind of kaput, I got $300 for it. So this only cost me $1,000, which was awesome. It actually didn't even cost me $1,000 because Christopher had a deal with his work that he gets a certain amount of percentage off for 3 computers each year. And as we bought an iMac and 2 Airs, that took up all of his kind of limit. However, we can start buying new computers in January again. We're not, I promise you, we're not. This is the end of it. It's the end of it. I really felt I needed something I could carry, something that was small, easy to have in my bag, and that I could edit on so that I could continue doing vlogs as we're out and about. And I've been editing on this. It's not as fast at exporting. I don't do a lot of rendering. However, when I do it on the iMac, it just renders automatically directly. This I have to wait a little bit, but it's still, it's about a minute or 2 and I can live with that. So I've been editing a couple of videos on it when I've been sitting in the living room, which has been just awesome. So that worked great. It runs Stardew Valley awesomely, and I've been playing that every day. I do have like a playthrough on my Switch, which is a little bit longer than the one I have on this, but when you see this video I probably have passed it because I just continue playing. This time around I have interacted with the villagers a little bit more, and it's much more fun. The idea is that this time around I'm not gonna bring my little Switch. Instead I'm just gonna have my computer with me. It's gonna be, I'm trying to make my packaging a little bit smaller. That was everything. This little beast, I love it. It's wonderful. I just love it. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for our journey and excited for everything. So yeah, that was all for this video. I know it's a little bit longer, but I wanted to kind of explain myself. Why do I buy a new laptop all the time? But yeah, I am a computer nerd. I use my computer, I use a computer for work 8 hours a day, if not more, and then I use my own computers 4 hours a day, maybe, if not more. Having a good updated computer is awesome. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. If you like this video, please thumbs it up. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button somewhere, and maybe the bell notification. I make new videos every day I post new videos every day at 4 p.m. Central European Time, 10 a.m. Florida time, that's Eastern Standard Time, and 10 a.m. and 8 a.m. I think Pacific time. Don't quote me on that one though. But yeah, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.